Alright guys, Bolt here, take two because I accidentally touched the wrong button. So we're here for part 2 of the What If I Made Dokkan series. Basically, I thought, hey, let's just try to think, what would I do? This does not include things that have been released to this point. So I did not make this idea when Deborah was coming out, and I did not make this video when I knew about the Saiyan Day Super Saiyan 2s. And I think they say Super Saiyan God might be the next one. So, which I think is stupid because we're getting a new thing. But anyways, so it's kind of like, what if I made the celebration? What if I took over for, well, it's not Omatsu anymore. It's, I think, not Ken, Geppy. So what if I ran Dokkan? Basically, we'll be showing off the units, showing off some events, showing off EZAs, and then I will have to explain some stuff. Like, for example, some of the thing I can just say right now is there's revamping. So in part 1, I did what if the EX part for 11th anniversary was just a huge update with a bunch of free to play content and like new updates to events so people have stuff to do. And then I did a Saiyan Saga celebration where it knocked out all of the Saiyan Saga characters, like I EZA'd all of them or gave them extra stuff. That's my thing to hurry up. And then Saiyan Day was a collaboration event between Dragon Ball Legends, getting Super Saiyan 3 Shallot that transforms into God then Blue, and then it would also have events that have to do with Dragon Ball Fighters, Fusion, the Super Battle, and then you would be able to do the limit-breaking Super Saiyan 4s as an EZA. But basically, there's a bunch of content. You can go rewatch that. I think I really liked what I did with that one. But that only covered the EX part of the 11th anniversary and March. This will, the next two will be doing like 4.5 months worth of content. So April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, and then that would be it, I believe. So, wait, what happened to? Okay. So anyways, what else did I need to say so we can continue this? Also, please check out when you can. Like the rest of the stuff. So. Alright, so starting with the April Fool's stuff, I teased this at the end of last video. Every April Fool's they do an image to tease the April Fool's unit, which I thought of like, hey, let's make it sound like it was going to be another Goku and another Vegeta. Another thing I was going to try to do is introduce both the monthly Dokkan Festival and LR in one go. The only things that would be separated from showing off would be like big celebrations. So for, let's say they showed an image of Goku's hair, I was trying to tease Turles here. And then he would tag with Slug, and these guys are the Dokkan Festival. And the banner unit is, I think this is Wings and Commander Zen. The physical Turles, which this was supposed to be, but I used AGL. They ended up giving him 2 banner units, but only him 1. So I wanted to give him his other cronies. So the LR would have been for the Vegeta teaser image, would be for Super Android 13. That would tag into full power Bojack. Revamping, I did not get into it really because I am kind of like trying to rush so the storm doesn't like shock everything. Basically any story, challenge, EZA, or Dokkan Fest that's come out that has to do with the subject, which is movies, they'd go up in this event. I think it was the story mode would have that as just an entire section, and then you would burst mode the STR slug, and this was also supposed to be physical turles, but I forgot. Then I'd be dividing this into like weeks. So Dokkan Fest gets 2 weeks, and LR gets 2 weeks. A month gets a full 4 weeks. So week 1 you'd get an EZA to physical turles and Hirudegarn from the new year, and then week 2 would get a super EZA to AGL turles and the Tapion, who had transformed Hirudegarn. Week 2 would also have a new challenge. This would basically be very similar to the Peppy Gals event, where it would allow you to face all the movie bosses, and you would have to like do certain things like collect rainbow orbs. You'd have to like lower the attack and defense, that kind of stuff. Week 3, along with the LR Super 13 and Full Power Bojack, you'd get the classic LR Bojack and the Transforming 13 Super EZAs. We would add new stages to this event in week 3 with Super 13 and later, like Broly movies, Bojack, that kind of stuff. Week 4 would include sub EZAs of Super Garlic Jr., Giant Form Slug, and then the 2 banner units from Physical Turles. And that is it for April Fools. 1 second. Alright, moving on to the Golden Week. So I was thinking for the dual Dokkan Fest, you would have a Golden Frieza in 17 tag unit, and then you would have a God Goku and Hit tag unit. So I think this starting as a 17 going into a Golden Frieza would be cool, and then this being a Hit that goes into a God Goku would be cool as well. Wait. What happened? Why is... This is messing up. Huh. 1 second. Okay, so I guess weird thing, my banner units got removed. So it was supposed to be, for Universe 7 was supposed to be a Tien and Roshi tag unit. And then for Universe 7, 6, it was supposed to be a Full Power Frost and a Boda Magetta. So I'm a little sad about that one. I really liked that one. So moving on to part 1, you would be able to revamp all of the Universe Survival Saga events. Then you would have Burst Mode with Golden Frieza and MVP 17. You'd also be able to EZA the physical transforming Frieza and the 17 and 18. For part 2, you would be able to Super EZA MVP 17, Int Golden Frieza, and Tech Hit. What the hell? Oh, okay, so this was also supposed to be part 2. I just did the number wrong. You would have sub EZAs with AGL Krillin, and then the Gohan team-ups. And then for part 2, we'd have the LR, which would be a Topo and a Jiren. I was thinking that you could make this as the active skill, have this guy, and then have him do a EX attack where he would go into his meditation afterward. So basically a reverse version of the 11th anniversary Realm of Gods character. So for part 3, I would Super EZA STR Jiren, Go Frieza, and the Evo Blue Vegeta. And then you would also have a new challenge, very similar to the boss battles against the movie bosses. You'd be doing a Peppy Gals event with all these universes. I tried my best to include every one of each of the universes. Part 4, you would be able to easy A Kale and Rebrianne and her team. And then you would also be able to sub-easy A the Universe 2 banner unit, Giant Form Bergamo. This is Super Saiyan 2 Kappa, and then Frost. Moving on to the, June release. So right back. And for June, I don't know why. Well, no, this was supposed to be May. Wait. Because it's April, May, June. Okay, so I freaked up on that. So this is going to be the next Dokkan Festival, which will be a Demon King Piccolo, and then his Demon Kids as a banner unit. And then the LR would be a Great Ape Kid Goku. For week 1, you'd get revamped Dragon Ball Saga events. Then you'd be able to super easy A the Kid Goku Intelligence, and then you would be able to burst mode the Intelligence Dokkan event and the STR Roshi event. For week 2, there'd be a new challenge against all of the World Tournament characters, Peppy Gal style, of course, and then you'd be able to easy A LR Bulma. For week 3, alongside the LR Kid Goku Great Ape, you'd be able to Dokkan easy A both the Golden Week World Tournament 23rd World Tournament. And then part 4, you'd be able to sub-easy A STR Demon King Piccolo, Tech Roshi, AGL Aider, STR Krillin, and Physical Tien. Moving on to, this would be July. Oh, yeah. So, be right back. Okay, moving on to June, which is Tanabata. Here I would release a tag Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta that goes into Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Very 8th anniversary. I believe I would do the Super Spirit Bomb and then probably do a combination attack. For the banner units, it'd be a tag Trunks and Goten. You'd be able to, in week 1, revamp the Buu Saga event, and then burst mode for the Intelligence Majin Vegeta and the Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku. Week 1, you'd be able to super easy A Physical Vegito, 3rd Anniversary Vegito, and Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Fusion Reborn movie. And because, like I said, I did not know about Saiyan Day, you would be able to easy A Int Majin Vegeta here. For week 2, you'd be able to super easy A Physical Super Saiyan 3 Trunks and the STR Ultimate Gohan. And you'd be able to sub easy A West Supreme Kai, Kabito Kai, Tien, STR Super Saiyan Saiyaman, and then the STR banner unit from Majin Vegeta. I did forget one here, and it was supposed to be the 8th anniversary Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Piccolo. I did forget about them. And then for the LR, we would be getting finally LR Kid Buu, but I would like him to tag with Fat Janemba. And then for week 3, you'd be able to super easy A Int Gogeta and 3rd anniversary Gogeta. And the burst mode would be including STR Kid Buu and Tech Janemba. For part 4, you'd be able to challenge all of the, I think these are the most chaotic people of all of Dragon Ball. And then you'd be able to Super Easy A, STR, Janemba, and I think this was Int Kid Buu. And then for week 4, you'd be able to Sub Easy A, Bukalo, Fizdabora from the Super Saiyan 2s, and then the AGL LR Super Buu. Moving on to the July release, July Festival before we get into Worldwide. And Worldwide will be the next video. So we're at least going in pretty good. Alright, and this one was a pretty easy one. The festival for at the beginning of July would have been a Piccolo that tags into Goku, who can do false Super Saiyan. And then the banner unit would be a tag between Saiyaman number 1 and 2. There would be a new challenge event among all the greatest moments of the heroes from the movies. And then for week 1, you'd be able to easy a Tapion and Minosha, Int, Goku and Piccolo. The physical one easy during March Festival. The New Year's Super Saiyan 3, because the Int Harugarn was able to easy with the other movie villains. The LR Int Goku from the Turles Celebration, and then Carnival LR Super Saiyan 3 Trio from the Super 13 movie. For week 2, you'd be able to Super Easy A Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Super Spirit Bomb Goku. I think, yeah, you'd have to technically choose one of the two. Burst mode would be the STR Super Saiyan 3 from New Year and the the Dokkan Festival from the Cooler Celebration. And that is it for this video. Actually, I'll be right back. I'll tease you what Worldwide is going to be. I'll be seeing you in the next one, won't I? Please? Part 3 will be coming out in the next week or 2. So, bye-bye.